Cole Avenue, 156th Street. Moved around many times because of the violence, the drugs, the fires, but I stayed in this community. Oh, I got another one. And basically, I survived in a situation that sometimes is somewhat sad, but is a reality. At my age, I don't have people that I can go back and talk about Junior High School 38 or PS 51 or PS 30 down here or PS 5 because they're all dead or in jail. I'm lucky to be alive. 9 times I didn't have to go to Vietnam to have bullets go by me and my family. And the bottom line is that being in this community has taught me a lot, because at the age of 16, I was able to see some type of abuse that radicalized me. I didn't have to be in third world country to see abuse to radicalize me, because at the age of 16, I saw a police officer on Cole Avenue put 3 bullets in the back of a guy who was innocent right there on 156th Street. And that radicalized me to the point that I was one of those that jumped on the roof and started throwing bricks on the police to turn into a riot. That got me into understanding that something is wrong, and as a result, I was able to start an organization called Justicia Latina Boricua, to which we were then recruited by the Young Lords, and then eventually to a Comité MIMP, which is a more stronger clandestine organization, Movimiento Nacional Puertorriqueño, and on and on. I've been to several organizations throughout that. So I've been an activist since I was 16 years old. Not because it was the trendy thing to do, but to live in this community and survive in this community. If you were not an activist, then you were a victim. And today I still live here. And I raised 3 children here. I'm a product of the public school system, which I protect. And my children are the product of the school system. And they're all professionals living in different parts of the country. But I never moved because I felt this is my home. And godmother that I had, Dr. Evelina Antonetti, showed me that we have to stick and protect our neighborhoods. And what gets me angry is the fact that living here and going through the conditions that I went through and seeing the abuse that happened in this community, I was not interested in running for any office. I am one of those that survived. I live over here. I started the first guest house before Airbnb. Now it's the 3rd most popular place in the Bronx to stay, and it's not a hotel. I have another business interpreting, and I have Latino sports. I don't need a job, and I definitely don't need a new career. So you ask, why am I interested in running? And that's what I told my friends, because I wasn't. But everywhere I went, I would go. Since I lived in this community, I walked here, I bike here. I only take my car if it's more than 2 miles away, and in most cases, I take public transportation. So people know me. So people stop me and say, when they started seeing all these names come up, running for Congress, people started saying, yo, Julio, how come your name is not there? How come your name is not there? Because I've always been involved in doing something. The first Job Corps program in urban America, go back to 1980, Time Magazine, and read how I got a gang, the Savage Skulls, to be the first students, still in 1776 Andrews Avenue. The law that's gonna be passed on January 20th, that here in New York State, for the first time, anybody who gets arrested has to get the evidence at time of arraignment. 15 days, not like the way they had it before, that you don't get it until time of trial, which caused people like Khalif Browder to then go to innocent in jail. You know how that started? Because my son got arrested 12 years ago for a bullshit charge on 161st Street. I didn't turn around and say, okay, that's the system. I helped start an organization called Open Discovery. And as a result of 12 years of organizing, going to meetings, writing articles, putting videos, lobbying, doing everything, demonstrations, the law passed. As of January 1st, New York State is going to be one of those states that they'll have to give evidence at time of arraignment. That's because of what happened to my son. The reason I'm the president of the Homeowners Association here is not because I'm looking for titles. When I first bought my house, coming from extreme poverty, single parent, raised by a father who was old enough to be my grandfather, so I had to grow up in the streets alone, I was able to buy a house for the first time. I want to be able to organize and do something. I go there to talk to the neighbors. They never knew what a block association was. They looked at me like I was crazy. But then, when the homeless center wanted to build a shelter on 151st Street, they realized that we got to get together, and that's how we started the South Bronx Community Organization. Google it and see the type of work that we've done. Our most latest work, go and see the art that we just put on 150th Street on the McDonald's walls that were all full of graffiti. The messages that we put there, not Fat Joe, rappers, but the issues of love, protecting the planet, and there's a school that they built there that's 800 kids come out every day, and all they saw was this wall, and I got the money, I got the artist, and now when those 800 kids come down from that building, they see a beautiful mural of a child looking up into the clouds, and it says, nothing is impossible. Those are the types of things that I learned, nothing is impossible, and that's why I decided, with all my friends who kept on telling me, Julio, you should run, because look all these things that you do, and you're not even in politics. Can you imagine what you could do if you were in politics? And I said, I'm not interested. But then they said, but don't you get it? That's exactly why you should run. I said, why? He says, because since you're not interested in a career and you're not interested in a job, you will be able to do and say the things that you need to say and do. And prepare somebody to be able to take over, because if we do elect someone, like we have seen in so many years here in the South Bronx that I've seen, I've helped elect people. I was the guy who wrote Latinos for Dinkins. I was the one that helped elect Elizabeth Holtzman, who got more votes in the Bronx than any elected official, because